Hey, welcome everyone. My name is Tim Condon. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer here at Clutch. And today you're going to hear from two companies that are really charging head on into the AI space and helping our clients adjust to the rapid changes that it's causing. So we decided to partner together in order to help our clients better understand how to navigate this really unprecedented change in buyer search. And I'm going to let Amanda and Wei speak to that in a minute, but let me introduce everyone here. First, we have on the Clutch side, we have Amanda Baum. She is the SVP of Product for Clutch. We have Wei Zheng, who is the Chief Product Officer at Conductor. And we're going to talk today about the partnership we put together and why we decided to work together as these changes are happening. On the Clutch side, we're hearing the same thing from providers over and over again, that they don't know what to do and they don't know how to measure their AI visibility. It feels very much like those early days of SEO where you need to do something, stuff is happening, but you just don't know like where you stand. We wanted to give providers a way to see how both their Clutch profile and their overall presence in AI was working for us. Amanda, I spend a lot of time talking to our providers. You not only spend time thinking about providers, but you think about how business buyers find solutions to their problems. And so when you look at what's happening in search broadly today, let's talk about the shift that you're seeing and what made this feel so urgent to get done.
Yeah, the way buyers research solutions is fundamentally shifting. Instead of digging through websites and reviews themselves, buyers are really using AI to compress the whole discovery process and generate a short list of providers in seconds. Here's why that matters. When AI makes a recommendation, it's predicting which providers are most likely to succeed for that buyer. To do that, it leans heavily on experience signals like reviews, ratings, and other proof points of past success. This shift makes high-quality reviews more critical than ever. So overall, this insight is what shaped our product strategy and is exactly why we built this dashboard.
That's great. Now, Wei, you're sitting on a massive amount of AI monitoring data at Conductor. Why don't you tell us a little about how Conductor has leveraged its expertise in traditional search to become a powerhouse in AI search and what you've learned so far about how business buyers' habits are changing as we've started working together here?
Yeah, thank you, Tim. That's a great question. We're definitely seeing this in the data that we're tracking on behalf of the brands that are leveraging Conductor. Unlike traditional search, where I feel like the brands care a lot about their specific rankings, because ultimately they're trying to drive traffic to the brand's own website. What we're seeing is that in AI search, not only you have to care about the content on your own site that will forever be like a knowledge source, but instead, there's a lot of attention being paid on citations. And that make a lot of sense because citations is how AI get the wisdom and get the grounding of what they're actually recommending. And I think for brands, the goal is not only to be mentioned in AI, but to be recommended in AI. So to help with that, we see massive changes. If you show the next slide, here's some data that Conductor has seen in our own tracking of millions of prompts across many different brands. If you look across the sort of the search intent, whether that's in education, recommendation, or later downstage, in actually pricing and finally purchasing, we see that some of the most authoritative sources besides the brand's own website have to do with social media, for example, YouTube. I know a lot of people talk about like Reddit and other sites, but we see review sites, for example, also pop up as one of the most cited sources for where people are getting recommendations. And if you see in the navigational side, that's where the brands are getting a lot of traffic, or getting a lot of citations. But otherwise, absolutely, the user generated content is dominating sort of the citation surfaces.
So we have a real problem here, right? From the Clutch side, search buyers are really flying blind. Search is changing a lot. The stakes are getting higher. It's starting to feel a little bit like it could be winner take all. And so for both of you, when you start thinking about what a solution actually looks like here, where did you even begin? Amanda, let's start with you.
Yeah, I can start. Really, as the leading B2B services marketplace, Clutch is uniquely positioned to set the industry standard for AI visibility. While other tools offer limited competitor comparisons, our data really allows for comprehensive benchmarking across the entire industry. So, by providing these tools, we give providers a direct line of sight into how their Clutch activity drives AI discovery, turning our platform insights into a definitive index for the market.
And wait, how about Conductor? What was in it for Conductor?
Yeah, from our side, we try to provide instead of having like making the customers buy one solution for visibility, one solution for content creation, one solution for monitoring, we try to build an end-to-end AEO platform that's really built on like a comprehensive and holistic data engine. Because at the end of the day, in order for you to be able to get found in the LM surfaces, you need the search data signals to be activated in the way that you actually author and like, for example, on the Clutch website, like what content do you decide to put up on the profile page for your brand? That is the unique wisdom that we want to make sure that our customers, our joint customers have access to so that when you put up that profile page on Clutch, it has the highest chance of being discovered. So that's really what we're trying to do from a Conductor perspective. We want to make sure that the brand can grow authority in both traditional search and AI search through combined AEO and SEO intelligence. One other comment I want to make here is that a lot of brands are struggling with how to get started with AEO because unlike traditional SEO where they have a keyword list and they have like monthly search volume where they can get that information from Google, in AEO, it's not like OpenAI or anybody's coming out and telling you like how often is people searching for XYZ. So in order to get this data, you actually have to leverage some of the SEO data in Google from a sourcing perspective, and then use that as a way to then generate the right prompts to track. This is like it's almost like a proxy to understand search demand in the AI world. And this is what we've done together with Clutch, which is to help curate the best prompts possible to be tracked against all the different search engines to provide the insight to then going to the content and the profile generation for the different brands on the Clutch website. So yeah, that's kind of why we felt like Conductor would be a really good fit for what you guys are trying to do.
And so we're gonna get to the demo, I promise. But I do want Amanda maybe talk a little bit about why we chose Conductor, right? Because there are a lot of partners out there, companies out there that could do this, and it'd be nice to give our audience a little insight into why we settled on Conductor as a partner.
Yeah, and the partner selection process was very competitive. As Tim mentioned, we had a lot of companies to go through and decide who was best for us, but Conductor really acted as a strategic thought partner, helping us uncover new ways for service providers to track visibility, which you'll see in the demo. And as early adopters of LLM APIs, Conductor crafts sophisticated prompts that really mirror real-world B2B buyer personas and intent. And their technical expertise, really combined with a stellar reputation, makes them an exceptional partner, and especially an exceptional partner for us.
All right, without any further ado, Amanda, why don't you take the screen and really walk us through what we've got here? It's really exciting. We're going to give providers an excellent way for them to benchmark themselves in AI visibility in a way that literally is not available anywhere else today.
Okay, so let's dive into the AI visibility dashboard. For our service providers, as they know, their vendor dashboard is where they can get all their information about their Clutch profile. So it's a similar process for finding the AI visibility dashboard. You can find it under the performance portion of the dashboard in the new AI visibility tab down here. And so to jump into it, at the top of the dashboard, you'll see your profile citations, which measures how often an AI bot like ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude visits your profile to answer a user's question. A citation doesn't guarantee a link in the final response, but it does tell you that your content was retrieved and likely used. To put your numbers in context, we compare you against your actual competitive set, which are companies in your main service line. So in this example, the company is the top performer in SEO and has the highest citation count in the category, well above the verified average for that service line. Then diving down into the second section, which is your Clutch AI visibility score. The visibility score tells you how well your company is showing up in AI responses within your segment. So working with Conductor, we run thousands of searches through LLM APIs, again, like ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, using curated prompts that mimic real B2B buyer intent. We then roll all of that data up into a simple plain language rating like excellent, great, good, fair, or needs work. So then you can tell at a glance how you're doing without having to interpret a raw number. And so we provide this score per segment. So for this example, we have SEO, pay-per-click, web development, and this really allows you to see where you stand in various areas. So to break this down further, we have your segment score, which is your visibility health for that service, your rank, which is where you stand against every other provider in that segment, and then your percentile, which is that rank as a percentage. So in this example, top 1% means you're more visible than 99% of providers in this service area. And so jumping down into the third section, AI visibility for Clutch directories. These are really Clutch directory citations that shows how often AI models reference Clutch directories that you're on. And since AI really leans on these directories to find providers, a higher position on the page meaningfully can increase your chances of landing in the final recommendation. And then diving into the fourth section of the dashboard is the prompt and response insights. And this fourth section really shows real prompts and the AI responses that they produce. So you can see exactly how your brand and Clutch appear in live LLM results. And from there, we really give you specific recommendations to increase your visibility based on what we've learned from building this dashboard with Conductor.
Now, Wei, Amanda mentioned the prompts, and obviously this is one of the most important aspects of tracking visibility. So can you give us a little peek behind the curtain? I think we even have a slide on it that I'll share on how prompts are generated, what Conductor does to ensure that it's as close to real life action as possible.
Yeah, absolutely, Tim. Happy to talk a little bit about how Conductor generate these prompts. As I mentioned earlier, since we don't have monthly search volume or any kind of prompt volume information, we do leverage traditional SEO topic data. Conductor has over 10 years worth of search history information. So we leverage that information to seed off a set of topics for the particular brand that they might be interested in understanding. And from there, we actually do what's called a query fan out. We actually take all the information for the topic that we get and we prioritize by the search volume from traditional search. And then we fan out into three really important parameters. One is about the persona. And the persona is really interesting because, as you know, people, when they come to LLM, they're not just saying best running shoes or best marketing agency. They're giving like a little bit of historical context about who they are, what they're looking for, location. All of that is taken into consideration. So personalization is a big deal in AI surfaces. So we want to be able to fan out to a specific persona as much as possible to kind of capture that aspect of the prompt. The other part is the intent stages. In traditional SEO, you have very kind of high level, rudimentary, like early, mid, late. But in AI search, because people are typing much longer search phrases and prompts, you can get actually much more granular. For example, late stages is not just about purchase. Maybe they're doing comparison. Maybe they're doing pricing investigation. So we have a much more broader set of intent stages that we fan out the prompt generation with. And then last but not least, which is not shown on the slide, is we also figure out branded versus unbranded, because naturally you always want to be recommended from an unbranded query. But sometimes you also may want to find out, like, how do people feel about you specifically? And in those cases, you want to generate branded prompts. So using all of those factors, leveraging traditional SEO data, fanning out to persona, intent stages, branded, unbranded, we then leverage AI and then learn from how people naturally phrase questions in ChatGPT and those other surfaces. And together, that's how we come up with the prompts that we then send to the AI surfaces to collect the response data from.
Amanda, Wei, thank you very much for walking our providers through this. Just to reiterate, with the help of Conductor, Clutch and the team have created essentially a visibility index that is specific to B2B services. And that's what's so important here is you can go on any AI visibility tool and put your brand in and see what comes up, but it's not going to be specific to the prompts that you care about. And that is why partnering with someone like Conductor is so valuable because of all the research that they've done to understand how to create these prompt sets so that they mirror real life searching as closely as possible. And so the takeaway here is that AI visibility is measurable, right? You can see how visible you are. You can understand how actions that you take will impact your visibility. And as we know, things like all the trust signals out there, whether they're on your website or on sites like Clutch, are going to really drive your AI visibility. And so if I'm going to put a little plug in for Clutch. If you want to increase your visibility, strengthen your profile, get reviews, right? Make sure you're high up on the directories that are being cited by these engines, and do all the things you can to show the AI search engines that you are a credible provider. And then you're going to see your visibility increase, and you're going to have a tool right in your Clutch dashboard that you can watch it.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you for the partnership. We're super, super excited to be working with you, and we're very happy to bring this data intelligence to your brands and your customers. And you guys have been such a great partner and was able to leverage our flexible data API to build the solution. So we're very grateful for that, and we can't wait to see what your any feedback they have for us. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Wei. It was great partnering with you. This is really important for our service providers to be able to get the visibility that they need and see, how important it is to really show up in these LLMs and really understand how they are showing up and how Clutch can help them do that. So I will just, reiterate what Tim said of reviews, and recent reviews are one of the most important things that these LLMs are looking for in combination with other trust signals like verification and certifications and things that Clutch really add value on. So we're just really grateful for the partnership with Conductor and that we can finally bring this visibility to our service providers, because it's been something we've been missing since LLMs came about. So thank you.
Thanks, everyone.